Happy Friday! Kimberly Wiggins here, Coach Kimmy J. It's been a long week, believe you me. I know I promised you some things in your inbox on Wednesday, and the technology monster got me. And so I had some technical difficulties and I couldn't get it out to you. But here I am today. I had to re-record it and I just kind of wanted to start fresh on Friday. So what I was going to talk to you about was the things that I had done when I was stuck and how I got unstuck. Because if you remember from the earlier email, I was telling you the story about how I should have been so excited about moving into this new place when all of a sudden I found myself in this place of stuckiness. And so it was puzzling to me, and I had to kind of figure it out. But I wanted to tell you what I did after I realized I was stuck and how I unstuck myself. So one of the important things that I'm going to jump right in. One of the important things that I did was I did not sit there and muddle around in the mess. No, I didn't do that. I just said, okay, Kim, here we are. You know what this feeling is. You know that you are feeling a little stuck. So the first thing that I did was I decided to stop. Yes, I just stopped. I stopped everything I was doing. I stopped thinking. I stopped pondering. I stopped wondering. I stopped trying to figure it out. And I just gave me a moment of stillness. And what that stillness did for me is it gave me a minute to stop doing this. Because I was running around in circles. And sometimes we find that a part of that feeling of stuckness is running around in circles. And you're not accomplishing anything because you're just running around in circles. So I decided to not try to figure it out that day. I gave myself a day of being still. It really wasn't a day. It was like an afternoon. I just said, okay, I feel as though I need to stop. And I need to be still. And I need to be in the moment. And I need to be receptive of what I can hear from God. So I didn't turn on the TV. I didn't get on the phone. I didn't get on the email. I didn't get on Facebook. I just spent the afternoon in a chair, or I laid down for a portion of it, and I just was open to receiving. It was almost like I was in a meditative state, but not quite. You know, I was pretty much just saying, okay, God, here I am. I don't want to hear the noise. I just want to hear you. So that was the very first thing I did. Then the second thing that I did after I'd spent the afternoon doing that is I had gotten up the next morning and I knew that I needed to turn this around. So I needed some inspiration. So although I have an inspiration board already, you know, or my dream board, what I did was I decided to create a mini one right over my computer. And so what I did was I thought of things and looked for things that was going to inspire me. I bought a new mug while I was out that had a lot of inspirational words on it. Just random inspirational words, which was great for me. And I just set it on my computer, on my desk, on my computer. Not that I'm going to use it, but it's there. I made a great big sign for me that said, there you go again, doing God's work. And that for me was a reminder that I needed to just slow down and stop and just let the Spirit take over and do what he needed to do, not me. And stop trying to be all to everybody and be all to everything. You know, Moving is a great undertaking. And just like when we decide to find our purpose or do whatever in life, it is a great undertaking. And we have to acknowledge that. So I needed some inspiration and I needed some motivation. And so that's what I kind of went out and got. And hold on one second, I dropped my paper. Um, well, hey, this is life. This is real life. I'm not making this up. And the other thing that I did was, I didn't do it that day. That day after I went out, and it was once again away time from it all. I didn't touch the business. I didn't touch my moving. I didn't touch any of it. I just spent some time creating an inspirational environment in this chaos that I had in the moving. I still found a space that was an inspirational environment for me, because the last thing they moved for me was my desk. So I found that space to be able to still inspire me, and that kind of inspiration, it's like that's why we go to conferences and we listen to speakers and we listen to audios and we listen to live streams, and it's because we need that, and video. We need that jolt of inspiration. And that's what these speakers and these coaches and everyone does for us on a regular basis. They give us that jolt of inspiration, because we live in a world that is not always as inspiring as we want it to be on a daily basis, because you got stuff coming at you all the time. And so that really helped me. It made me feel inspired, truly, from the inside out. And then one of the other things I did the very next day was I started piecing together my life again. I started piecing it together bit by bit. But I also decided that for the next 7 days, I was going to take time to reflect on some things. I was going to allot myself a certain amount of time to reflect on things. And what I did was I allotted myself 30 minutes. I set that time up on my calendar, on my phone, so it would let me know it's your meditation time. I called it my meditation time because it was the time that I took to lay down or sit in a chair and just reflect. I reflected on some things in my life. I reflected on some things in my business to try to ease some of the feelings of fear and being stuck that I was experiencing, because I had kind of backed away from it the couple previous days, the days where I inspired myself and the days where I just stopped and was totally still. I was able to better deal with it. I was better able to dissect some of it through my reflection. So I took a couple days there. I took the next 7 days, and I just, as I was doing small things, nothing major, I just kind of reflected on some things. I kind of stepped away from my business still and stepped away from the moving and just kind of reflected on some things. And that really helped, because what it did was it, like I said, it gave me the opportunity to continue to listen to the Spirit, continue to ask it to guide me. It gave me the opportunity to just really connect with me again. Because one of the things you find when you're feeling stuck is that you lose that connection with yourself. And you feel like a whole different person, just running around and confused, and it's a state of chaos. And you need an opportunity to be able to reconnect with yourself so you will not feel that chaos. And one of the last things that I did was, after I'd gone through that period where I'd found a way to reconnect and a way to actually just slow hold me down, my spirit, my business, my moving, all the chaos, just to slow it all down. I was ready to get back in the game, but not feet first, not head first. I didn't jump in. I decided to take some realistic actions one step at a time. So the very first day, I decided there was one thing I was going to do, and I was going to make sure and get that thing done. So I decided what that one priority thing was, be it business or home, and I got it done. And then I did that for a few days. And then I knew I was ready to move on to a little more. So then I did two things. I still didn't jump in feet first. I decided to go from one to two. So I had two specific things that I was going to do for the next few days. And I did, as long as I hit my goal, and that's the important thing, is taking realistic, accountable action. And as long as I decided to take the action, hit the goal, and was successful at it, it gave me and it empowered me to move on. It gave me the ability, and I was able to empower myself to move on to the next thing. And that's what I did. And I did that until I was able to add 3 things to my list. Now, for those of you who know me already, you know that that is pretty much how I set my day. I do 3 priority things. And maybe I'll do something on the way I goal set. You know, goal setting is really a personal thing, I believe. You know, a lot of people come out with a lot of information on goal setting. I found, I've read all that stuff, and I did a mishmash of what works for me. And maybe I'll share that with you, because maybe portions of it, as you doing your mishmash, which I highly suggest that you start with something and then incorporate other things into it. That's how I get the mishmash. And go ahead and do that, and I'll share what I do so that you'll be able to do that with some of what I do. But my priorities when I set my goals is I do my top 3 things. And I do those 3 things every day. Now, granted, behind the scenes, I may have a list of 40 things, but I pick the top 3 that I'm going to do that day. And I know that I have reached a level of success in that day when I do those top 3 things. Because I'm an action-oriented person, I'm goal-driven, I'm results-driven, I need to see the results from what I do. Before, when I did a list of 20 things or 10 things and crossing them off, it didn't work for me. I would frustrate myself. I found myself stuck more often than not. Because I need some results. I'm results driven. And so that really works for me. So as I worked through this process, I got to the place where I was back to my 3 things a day. And that's when I knew for sure that I was climbing out of the stuckiness mud. And I was feeling so good about that. It was just, that is such a great feeling. Especially for a person like me with my personality type that is detailed. So I gotta have the results. So that was wonderful for me. I really hope that this has helped you. Those steps that I used are pretty much some of the steps I use sometimes, and I use some other steps as well. But these are some of the things that I decided that would help me at this time, because I was stuck, and it was contrary to what my insides were feeling. My spirit was feeling like I should have been elated because I was moving to a new home, and this was an exciting time in my life. But amidst all the confusion, which was maybe a little bit too much confusion for me at the time, trying to do too many things, I kind of learned that it's okay to take a break from one thing to focus just on one thing. And I was trying to do it all. I was trying to do family, business, moving. I have a job that I was trying to work on the side. It was just a little too much, a contract job. And it was just a little too much. So once I started to climb out of my stucky feeling, then I was able to decide, okay, now, what is this one thing that I'm going to work on? And I decided it was my move. So I put my business on hold for a couple weeks. I put my contract job on hold for a couple weeks. And it's hard to put family on hold, but I had to tell them, look, I know you need me, but give me a minute. I need me too, because you got to take care of yourself first. self-care is the most essential. So I spent the time doing self-care and focused on my moving, and I'm here, all unstuck, all moved. I'm so excited. I hope this has really helped you, because what I want to do is I want to be relevant to you. I want to be real. I want to be honest. I just want to be me. And I want to share what works for me, and hopefully it will help you in some way. It may not necessarily be exactly what is necessary or what actually works for you, but hopefully there's some nuggets or some tidbits in here that you can use. And it's Friday. Until Monday, I do have something special for you on Monday. I will be sending you another email about some of the things that I learned, some of the lessons learned, my top 5 things I learned about my moving that relates to my business. I'm so excited. I will be in your inbox on Monday, and you have a super fantastic weekend here in Georgia. It's cold, but it's sunny, and I love the sun because it energizes me. And so I'm off to run some errands out in the sun. Yay, we had rain for weeks, but now we are all sunny, and I'm off to run some errands, and I will be in your inbox on Monday. Bye.